This is I'd Like to Be, Contractions lesson number 2. We've been reading the book I'd Like to Be. This week we're going to take a look at what contraction words are. So the word contraction means the process of getting smaller and tighter. So an example of this is our muscles contract when we squeeze them. In reading, writing, or speaking, a contraction word is made by shortening and combining two words into one smaller word. We remove letters and sounds. The apostrophe shows where the missing letters belong. And let's find another contraction word. So I automatically saw this apostrophe. Remember, it's just a little comma in the air. So I saw this apostrophe here, and I wondered, is this a contraction word? So when I read this sentence, my stew's alive, I thought, yeah, I think that is a contraction. I think the author took two words and squeezed them together and squished out some letters and created this contraction word. So I can take a look at the word stews, and I know that it's stew plus is, and that equals stews. Because when I read my sentence, my stew's alive, I can read it, my stew is alive. And that's how I know it's a contraction word. So I look for my apostrophe, number 1, and number 2, I think about what makes sense. Let's take another look at another page. On this page, I can see again my contraction word I'd, and I know it stands for I would. So as I read, I'm going to be thinking I would in my head to make sure that it makes sense, and so I can understand what the author's trying to tell me. I see another I'd on this page, and it stands for, think about it for a minute. I'd stands for I would. So this sentence would say, I would like it if you played with me. When we read out loud, though, we say, I'd like it if you played with me. All right, so I see another I'd, or I would, and I'd, and I'd. The author used that so often in this text. Let's take a look here at this word, though. So this word is what's. So let's think about that. Which two words go together to make what's? I'd like to gaze into the sky and take notes on what's passing by. In this word, we're combining what is to create that word what's. Let's reread it to make sure it makes sense. I'd like to gaze into the sky and take notes on what is passing by. That makes sense. Just to quickly review, today we've learned that apostrophe S can represent the word is when it's used in contraction words. So the examples we found today were stews, which represented stew is, and what's, which represented what is. As you're reading today, try to see if you can find words that have apostrophe S to represent a contraction word.